Lockdown is the name of several characters from the Transformers franchise. He is usually depicted as a ruthless bounty hunter nominally aligned with the Decepticons. Transformers, Generation 1, Lockdown will pay top dollar to get what he wants, so he can earn an even topper dollar. Like any good bounty hunter, he's all business and does whatever it takes to haul his bounty in. He runs a very tight ship and is straight to the point. So he's not afraid to tell his colleagues exactly what he thinks of them, for better or for ill. IDW Publishing, in Drift Issue 2, when the infamous Decepticon Deadlock failed in a mutiny against his commander and deserted, Megatron called on the bounty hunter Lockdown to find him and return him to the Decepticons. Lockdown, with the help of some slave traders, found Deadlock on an unassuming planet where a mysterious third, neutral faction had been in hiding for eons. In Drift Issue 3, Lockdown explained to Deadlock that even though Deadlock's former boss, Turmoil, wanted Deadlock dead, Megatron felt that Deadlock was too important to his plans to have him be destroyed. The slave traders had other ideas, and noted that there were other Transformer deserters somewhere on the planet, ones who must have partially rebuilt Deadlock. In exchange for helping find Deadlock, they demanded to be led to the hidden Transformers. If not, they would take Deadlock for their own purposes. Lockdown suggested that Deadlock lead the hidden Transformers into an ambush, and commented that Megatron's faith in Deadlock had best not be misplaced. However, when they met Deadlock at the arranged site, he had an army of Transformer deserters with him ready for a fight, plus he had been completely rebuilt and renamed himself Drift. In Drift Issue 4, Lockdown was furious at Drift for abandoning the Decepticon cause, and scoffingly dismissed him as an idealist, when Drift claimed he found something better to fight for. Their personal combat was interrupted when the lead Slaver killed Drift's mentor, Wing, and Drift broke off to avenge his friend. After he killed the Slaver, and Atlas arrived with a fresh crowd of Third Faction warriors, Lockdown chose to depart in the face of overwhelming odds. In The Reluctant Specialist, at some point Lockdown was put in charge of a team of Titan hunters by Chief Justice Tyrist, who tasked them with hunting down and killing Metro Titans for their parts. In order to retrieve a Titan fragment, they boarded the Lost Light while the entire crew was paralyzed. The entire crew except Trailcutter, that is. Though Trailcutter's force field powers were shorted out at the time, unbeknownst to the Decepticons, he bluffed Lockdown and his team off his ship with some creative use of its gravity generators and his Magna wheels. In this calamitous life some months later, Lockdown and his Titan hunters confronted the crew of the Lost Light again when they found Luna 1, Tyrist's headquarters. The fecund moon Rodimus led them on a merry chase across the moon and through the corpses of their Titan victims, but Lockdown was eventually able to capture the intruders and bring them before Tyrist. House of Ambers. The Titan hunters were later ordered by Tyrist to suppress the attacking Circle of Light, who had escaped confinement thanks to Cyclonus and Whirl. Arm. The Lonely Ones. Tyrist was defeated, Lockdown and his crew fled Luna 1. Transformers Animated. Lockdown is a rogue Transformer from the Transformers Animated series. Though labeled a Decepticon in the toy line, he is actually a rogue bounty hunter with no allegiance to the Autobots or Megatron. In truth, he was originally an Autobot cyber ninja who trained under Yokotron. He was disgraced by his master and later returned to kill him as his first job as a bounty hunter, stealing Yokotron's helmet and most of the protoforms he guarded. Since then, he only captures Autobots for him in return for upgrades, which he will take from employer and prey alike. One such hunt led to him crossing paths with Ratchet, whose encounter with Lockdown was a painful experience. He transforms into a muscle car that can be simply described as a combination of two types, a Chevrolet Corvette C3 and a 1960s Mercury Cougar. The windows and rooftop of the vehicle are borrowed from various muscle cars made between the mid to late 1960s. These combined features make Lockdown much more like a 1960s-style Cougar rather than a 1970s-style Corvette, which is actually a sports car and not a muscle car like the 1960s Cougar, which is based on a 1960s Ford Mustang. Lockdown is capable of generating an oil slick, smoke screen, and thanks to a device he stole from Ratchet during the war, an electromagnetic pulse generator which can knock out electronics, including other Transformers except Ratchet himself. The generator was later regained by Ratchet. Derek J. Wyatt recently stated that Lockdown was originally going to be a Frankenstein's monster-type creature. A mismatch of different Transformer parts. Despite many fan belief, Lockdown's face is not modeled after Death's Head, whose name was used for Lockdown's personal spaceship. Animated series, Lockdown first appeared in Thrill of the Hunt, in which he hunted down Optimus Prime for the one who hired him, Blitzwing. He once again ran into Ratchet, who overcame his past pain to avenge Arcee and save Prime in a struggle that ends with the Death's Head crashing into a river. Lockdown makes his next appearance as a star in the series when after the bounty for Starscream in Episode 23, A Fistful of Energon. Following in the tracks of Starscream, he alights on the moon. Unexpectedly, he finds himself to be forestalled by the Autobot Prowl, which has already discovered the jailbreaker and handcuffed him. Two tough hunters begin to make their showdown with regard to who will take the quarry. But while they fight, Starscream succeeds in releasing his stasis cuffs and in running away. Then Lockdown reluctantly teams up with Prowl, even providing him with armor upgrades for the mission. So they both set out back to Earth in search of the fugitive. Here they meet Starscream very soon, but there's something wrong with him. Nevertheless, Lockdown captures Starscream and tows him to Megatron, in spite of Prowl's protests, mentioning that Megatron pays more than the Elite Guard. Indeed, Megatron is satisfied very much with the traitor being in his mercy at last and intends to punish him exemplarily. But before he has time to put his intention into effect, the Autobots burst in, bringing just one more Starscream. It appears that both Starscreams are nothing but the self-destructing clones. During a snafu, Lockdown is removed safely, though rewardless. Later he gets through to Prowl and offers him to become his business partner but meets with a refusal. Lockdown is briefly alluded to in the episode SUV, Society of Ultimate Villainy. The Decepticon swindle implies that he picked up Megatron's radio frequency from Lockdown, referring to him as a mutual bounty hunting friend, becoming like an Autobot one day. Lockdown returns in the third season episode 5 Servos of Doom, exchanging captured Decepticons for various items with Sentinel Prime until the liar Starscream clone pays him enough Energon to get him to switch targets. During the fight with Prowl, Lockdown reveals his relation to Yokotron to him while gloating of his actions. Prowl fights him, equipped with his old armor, and wins, but Lockdown escapes yet again. Lockdown was seen in a brief flashback in This Is Why I Hate Machines, which was actually recycled from his debut episode. Toys, Animated Activators Lockdown, a simple Scout-class version of the character with a push-button transformation. Also sold in Japan as part of the Super Collection Volume 1 gift set alongside Activators Optimus Prime, Ratchet and Megatron. Animated Activators Bandit Lockdown, a blue redeco of the original Activators Lockdown. Animated Bumper Bachelor Lockdown, first mentioned on a Walmart computer listing in July 2008. Animated Deluxe Lockdown, a deluxe-class toy, Lockdown is unique in that his robot mode stands as tall as most Voyager-class toys. Comes with gauntlet that holds his hook and EMP generator. It is possible to fit the EMP generator on Ratchet's forearm. This toy was featured in issue number 17 of the Transformers Collectors Club magazine. Animated Deluxe Stealth Lockdown, a clear plastic remold of the Lockdown figure. He is featured in a 3-pack along with Animated Legends Optimus Prime and Bumblebee. Animated Deluxe Blazing Lockdown, a redeco with a new paint job and a chainsaw on the gauntlet instead of a hook. The mold for this figure is also used for the BotCon 2011 exclusive Deluxe Wild Rider. Animated TA-08 Deluxe Decepticon Lockdown, the 2010 Japan release version of Takara Tomy is virtually identical to the Hasbro release, with the exception of a purple Decepticon emblem. Also bundled with TA-04 Deluxe Ratchet. Animated TA-46 Deluxe Blazing Lockdown, the Japan release version of Blazing Lockdown is virtually identical to the Hasbro version. Live-action film series, this incarnation of Lockdown is inspired by the animated character. According to the Hasbro Battle Bios for Arcee and Ratchet, Lockdown is their enemy. Lockdown is officially listed as standing 24 feet tall on the Hasbro website. Animated series: in Hasbro's Cyber Missions, Lockdown is portrayed as a recurring antagonist for Ratchet. In Cyber Missions number 3, Lockdown is seen rampaging through Mission City. Ratchet intercepts him by tailing behind and trying to blast him with his EMP generator. However, it shorts out, giving Lockdown a chance to knock him while he was already down. Lockdown then stole Ratchet's blaster and sped off. In Cyber Missions number 7, Lockdown returns, infiltrating NEST headquarters in Diego Garcia. Sideswipe and Ratchet were the only ones left at base. Lockdown easily gets past the electric fence and the security cameras. Soon, he faces Sideswipe. The speedy Autobot was able to blast the EMP generator off his wrist, sending it flying back to its original owner, Ratchet. Lockdown attempted to retreat, but he was instead heading towards the medical bay, where he was captured and sedated. In Cyber Missions number 11, Lockdown teams up with Barricade against Ironhide. Film series: Lockdown appears as the main antagonist of Transformers: Age of Extinction, voiced by Mark Ryan. A ruthless mercenary who transforms into a grey 2013 Lamborghini Aventador LP700-4 coupe, he claims to work for the creators of the Transformers. In the film he keeps some of the aspects of his Transformers animated self, such as his hook hand, but with a more humanoid face, and is capable of turning his own face into a large cannon which he uses to attack Optimus. He works with the humans to hunt down Optimus and the Autobots, killing Ratchet along the way. After capturing Optimus, he takes off into space to deliver Optimus to a race he calls the Creators, who built the Transformer race, but is initially unaware the Autobots rescued him. Finding out, Lockdown returns to Earth and engages Optimus in battle in Hong Kong. Optimus is evenly matched with him but gets distracted by Cade and gives Lockdown the upper hand by giving him the chance to impale Optimus with his own primal blade. However, Prime is aided by Bumblebee, Cade Yeager, Tessa Yeager and her boyfriend Shane Dyson, who distract him. As he prepares to kill Cade, Tessa and Shane free Optimus, who impales Lockdown through the spark with his sword, then cuts his head in half, killing him, avenging Ratchet's death. Before flying away to safety with the humans, Optimus uses one of Lockdown's grenades to finish off the remaining KSI drones. Video games: Lockdown appears as a playable character in the Wii, Nintendo DS, and 3DS versions of the video game prequel to Dark of the Moon. In the DS version, Lockdown, on Megatron's orders as relayed by Starscream, broke into a NEST facility and stole information from the supercomputer relating to NEST operations in the Pacific. When he had finished basking in his victory, he sent the data to Starscream, who ordered Lockdown to investigate a reactivated Sector 7 base, and the Decepticon ended up tangling with Mirage. He was later called on again to provide a diversion by destroying communication arrays in an Autobot base as part of Megatron's plan to reactivate Shockwave. In the Wii/3DS version, he took part in the Decepticons' attack on Detroit, breaking into a NEST facility in order to upload a virus. He managed to flee the base after Optimus arrived, and was then ordered back to Decepticon headquarters, as Megatron had new orders for him to carry out. Lockdown appears in Transformers: Rise of the Dark Spark. Lockdown is shown to have his own soldiers like Lockdown Flyers, Lockdown Guardians, Lockdown Rocket Troopers, Lockdown Shotgunners, Lockdown Snipers, and Lockdown Soldiers. Toys: Hunt for the Decepticons Deluxe Class Lockdown, a new version of Lockdown, whose appearance was influenced by a combination of his animated appearance and the general aesthetic of the live-action films. Also available in a white redeco as AXA. Age of Extinction Cyberverse Lockdown, Age of Extinction Deluxe Class Lockdown, an all-new mold of Lockdown that transforms into a Lamborghini Aventador. His gun can attach over his head to simulate his face transforming into a cannon. Age of Extinction One-Step Changes Lockdown, a small toy that instantly transforms from car to robot at the push of a button. Age of Extinction Titan Guardian Lockdown, a 12-inch non-transforming figure with limited articulation. Age of Extinction Dinobots Barker Lockdown and Wolf, Transformers, Bot shots. Lockdown is a relentless bounty hunter who never stops until he gets his money euro, and a trophy or two. Toys bottom shots. Lockdown, part of the third wave of bot shots. Lockdown is a teeny little road warrior-ish car with a spring-loaded automatic transformation to robot mode triggered when his front bumper is pressed. He has a spinner in his chest that shows his 3 attack types and power levels. His head appears to be based more on the Revenge of the Fallen Lockdown than the original. Lockdown's main car body, arms and legs are also used by bot shots Barricade, Bumblebee, Mirage, Prowl and Top Spin. Bot shots Decepticon Fire Assault Team, a redeco of the original Lockdown mold now with yellow and red highlights. A animated Blazing Lockdown. This version of Lockdown was available in a 5-pack with similar redecos of Megatron, Shockwave, Starscream and Barricade. KREO, Lockdown is a Decepticon bounty hunter. Toys, Lockdown Air Raid. The Lockdown Air Raid set also includes a buildable Dinnerbot Beast / References. External links, Evolution of Lockdown.